What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, and seeing as it is a very, very slow international break, we thought we would give you the half-term report. Me and Simeon are going to be acting as the headmasters of the Tottenham Hotspur School, and we are going to be going through all the playing staff at the moment, and we're going to be giving them a grade, a half-term report grade between A and F, obviously F being the worst and A being the best. You excited for this one?
Let's do it. I want to give some grades. I've got some talking to. Some of them we have to work harder. I want to get stuck into them.
All right, we're going to go in numerical order of the squad. Let's start off with Hugo Lloris.
Yeah, I think he's been an A, exemplary student.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's been absolutely fantastic for these first few games. I think ever since he's come back from lockdown, as pretty much as he's come back from that injury from Brighton, he's been pretty solid. Hasn't made any mistakes. Been pretty spectacular. I think he's had. It's a bit lucky for him. Not lucky, but he actually hasn't had that much to do this season because of our defence has been so solid. Pretty much most shots on target have been like world-class efforts from range or penalties. But I think what he has had to do, he's done really, really well. And I couldn't be happy with Hugo at the moment.
He's without error for a long time.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't say that.
Since that Brighton game, really, when he got injured,
exactly,
dropping the ball.
I think since that Brighton game, I genuinely believe he's been the best keeper in the league.
You could make a very good argument for that. And I think the Mourinho coming in has helped him as well because when he was playing under Poch, he was required to kind of have the ball to feet a lot, playing out from the back, and Mourinho is a lot happier playing it longer. So I think it's helped Hugo.
I was reading somewhere, apparently the goalkeeping coach that Jose Mourinho has been a big help for Hugo Lloris. I was reading an article somewhere. So.
And also, what's also been cut out is a lot of the. Although he used to be very good at this whole sweeper keeper stuff, he doesn't do that as much anymore. But he also used to make quite a few mistakes doing that.
Exactly.
And he doesn't do that anymore. So that's pretty positive from Hugo.
All right, Hugo Lloris gets an A. Matt Doherty. It's got to be a C, I think.
Yeah, C. He hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't really set the world alight yet. As much to improve, I would say. I think he's still acclimatising to this new role at right back, and I think of late he's shown a bit more promise, but he started the season fairly poorly. So I think still can improve.
At the end of the day, it's 8 games into his Spurs career.
Yeah,
so
I think C.
C, yeah. Sergio Reguilón, B for me.
I'll go for A-. A-.
Okay.
That's what I think, because I think he's had a really good start, showed so much exuberance, and he's been always
such
on
a
the
breath
front
of fresh
foot.
air on that left-hand side, isn't it? I mean, from Ben Davies for the past 2 years, to have someone like Reguilón with that pace, with that desire, with that aggression, I mean, it's night and day, isn't it?
He's forced us to change our formation. That's how good he's been and how effective he's been at left back, and he's always been an option there. I think he can improve a bit defensively. I feel sometimes he's a bit too exuberant. It gets caught out sometimes. He runs a bit too much. Going forward, 3 assists already this season. Can't complain about that. So I think he's been a fantastic player. So can improve in some bits, but A- for me. All
right, A- for Sergio Reguilón. Toby Alderweireld. We know what we're giving him.
What, an A?
I'm giving him an A for sure. For sure. I mean, when you compare him to last season, it's as well night and day between last season. It seems as though Jose Mourinho has put some confidence into him. The confidence is reaping through him. I mean, he's performing the best I've seen him play in a while.
Yeah, I think he could have done better in the first game against Everton, but apart from that, he's been really solid. Ever since he's come back into the team this season after a couple games out, we look so solid at the back. Him and Dier making a really good partnership. And I think he really has come in. But I think we're defending a lot deeper than we were at the beginning of the season. That definitely suits him, and that suits our play as well. Whether it suits the whole team in terms of attacking wise, we'll have to see as the season goes on. But at the moment, he's playing really well, defending really well. And ever since he's come back from lockdown as well, when he's come back into the team, I think we defend a lot better in the team when Toby's there. So I agree. We'll give him an A.
All right, here's one. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, A star.
A+++++. Big. He's in the conversation to be our player of the season so far. I think he's been an absolute model professional. He's been a leader. He's completely revolutionised our midfield, and he's been absolutely fantastic. Barring the Everton game, in pretty much every game he's played.
Yeah.
He's
transformed the side.
Completely transformed. We're not the same side now without him. He's only been here for 8 games. All of a sudden, we're worried when he's not in the team. He's completely made that
first name on the team sheet at the moment.
He is,
and that is with players like Heung-min Son and Harry Kane completely smashing it out.
Honestly, there's one player we just can't afford an injury to, and that's probably Højbjerg. And he's been that impressive. Off the ball, on the ball, everything about him has been a touch of class. And I'll just hope it carries on.
All right, now we're going to go over to Davinson Sanchez.
I think maybe even a D.
I was going to say D.
Yeah, I was going to say D. Maybe even a D.
I think the stats show itself. I think every game he's played, I think, has been poor defensively. I could be wrong on that one.
No, but I'm not sure every game, but he gave away a penalty against Man United. He was at fault for a few goals against West Ham when we drew 3-3. He never really looks as comfortable. I don't think he's like in the Europa League games as well against Antwerp. Could have done better in that game as well.
That's what I'm saying. Every time he's played, there's been some sort of mishap in the defence.
Yeah. And it's no surprise that ever since he's come out of the team, the defensive mistakes have cut down a bit, and we don't seem to be conceding as many goals. And as well, hasn't even been in the last few squads in the Premier League as well, showing that maybe Mourinho can start to see that.
Be on the wall for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think. Look, he was signed for 42 million. And I think this is a season where it could all start really unravelling for Sanchez. At the moment, that's how it looks.
I mean, if he doesn't up his game this season, it could be make or break for him, to be fair.
It could be. He could be gone at the end of the season if it carries on the way it's going. And look, he's had a few good games as well, but by and large, it hasn't been very good.
Do you think if we were to get rid of him at the end of the season, we recoup the fee that we paid for him?
Not at this current rate. 42 million we paid. Yeah. We can probably. I could say. I can't even see us getting 35, maybe 30 if we're lucky.
All right, let's move on to Heung-min Son, A star.
All the stars.
All the pluses. I mean,
A plus.
What more do we need to say about Heung-min Son? He's been absolutely sensational. Just won the Player of the Month award. Probably could have got the Player of the month before as well. I mean, this guy,
top goal scorer in the Premier League.
Exactly. I mean, he is just so. I've never seen Heung-min Son as clinical as he is right now.
Best start to a season he's ever had. This is Heung-min Son at his very, very best.
And you're forgetting he won the last 2 Player of the Season awards for Spurs as well. And this is the best season, where looking like it could be the best season he's ever had for Spurs.
Exactly. And he's going to have stiff competition for Player of the Season this season. Shows the rate higher quality there is this season. And I think Son has been absolutely phenomenal. Can't praise him enough. His link up with Harry Kane has been second to none. And he deserves a fantastic A+.
Yeah. Harry Winks.
C-.
C-. You see, for all the talking up of Harry Winks you do, you're giving him a C-.
Yeah, because I that's how I think he's been playing. I talk him up because I think he gets scapegoated a lot from the rest of the fan base. I always said I don't think he's been phenomenal, but I just think every time we lose or we have a poor performance and he's playing, he completely gets scapegoated and everyone blames him. I think he has to do better. He has to do better, and I think he's got a stiff competition now with Ndombele and Lo Celso really stepping up, and Højbjerg.
It looks like he's competing with Højbjerg. It
Well,
doesn't even look like he's competing with Lo Celso or Ndombele.
I think Højbjerg, that position's done. No one's taking that position off him. I think the position he has to target now is that Sissoko position. That's where he has to feel like he can maybe get into the team, and then obviously Lo Celso and Ndombele battle out for the attacking midfield position. At the moment, Sissoko is providing a lot more energy. I think Winks is a lot better on the ball than Sissoko, but I think at the moment Sissoko is providing a very good job making us more solid than Winks does. He has a lot more work to do on the team, but I still think he does a lot of good qualities that go unnoticed. And I feel like if he did get a consistent run, he could replace Sissoko in that team, and that could be the benefit for our team if that was to happen. I personally believe. But at the moment, Sissoko deservedly has the place in the team, and Winks has to prove that he deserves to be playing.
For me, Winks is not doing enough this season. I mean, it's clear to see for everyone, to be fair. Yes, you're probably right. He has been scapegoated more than on one occasion this season, but I do think that not all of the criticism is warranted, but I think the majority of it is warranted. That's just my personal opinion. I personally would probably give him a D, but I'm happy to settle on C-.
C-.
Let's go over to Gareth Bale. C. Probably.
C. Got the winner against Brighton. Which was very important.
That's probably the only.
And then obviously got the assist against Lask as well, which was nice. He's still clearly coming back into fitness. You see glimpses of a good quality.
The best is yet to come. C. Best is yet to come.
Hasn't been atrocious, hasn't been like horrific, but also as well, we know he's got so much more to give, and for the quality of player Bale is, he's got a lot more in his locker. So yeah, I think C.
All right, Harry Kane. We all know we're going to give him A++, star.
As many pluses as possible.
The best version of Harry Kane we've ever seen. The best midfielder, the best defender, the best attacker. I mean, we say this pretty much every video.
Everything.
So all you guys out there know our views on Harry Kane.
I'm very unlucky not to get the player of the month because Son just edged him out. 7 goals, 8 assists. Still one of the highest goal scorers in the league. Top assister in the league. Most chances created. Most shots taken. Most shots on target. This guy's on another level to anyone else in the Premier League. No one can compete with what Kane is doing this season. So Kane, arguably the best player in the Premier League this season. So has to be an A+.
All right, Erik Lamela.
B.
Yeah, I was going to say B.
I think he's been pretty good whenever he's given the chance.
He's been frustratingly good, if you know what I mean.
Frustratingly good.
Because he's good, but he's still doing those things like hanging on to the ball for too long, just being very frustrating in the final third. But the energy he shows on the pitch and the aggression and what he gives to the team on that pitch is completely second to none. But I would just like to call on him to just calm down a bit. Don't hold on to the ball for too long. Release it.
I think whenever he comes off the bench, he always seems to make an impact, which has always been very positive and is very crucial as well for a player to do that. And played very well against Chelsea in the League Cup, got us through to that. Man United away had a really good first half and was lucky not to be sent off, but he had in terms of performance really good first half and contributed really well to our play. And so I think he has made some good contributions so far this season when he's had time on the pitch. So I think he hasn't been exceptional, but he's been good. So I'm going to give him a B.
Been his best season yet.
Maybe, yeah, you could probably argue that after 8 games. But yeah, again injured.
Yeah,
for these, but hopefully he'll be back.
Apparently,
after
it's a small
break.
one that's only going to last 8 months.
Yeah, exactly. A small one for Erik Lamela. Hopefully, he'll be all right because I think whenever he's got his chances, he's been solid. So yeah, B.
All right, let's move on to Joe Hart.
C.
C.
I mean, he hasn't done anything bad, but nothing great either, and he's only played Europa League games.
I mean, he's kind of held his own against anything that's come past him. No mistakes.
A couple of long range efforts he's conceded, I think, but they've been world class.
Yeah, they were world class. I mean, you got to say Joe Hart has kind of dealt with everything thrown his way pretty much, apart from complete worldies from outside the box. I'd give him an A- or a B.
A-? I don't know about A-.
He's done everything called upon him. What could he have done better?
I guess, but he hasn't. I don't know. I mean, he's played a couple Europa League games. He's kept one clean sheet.
From what he's been given, I mean, he's done pretty well.
I'll give him a B. I don't think he does an A. It hasn't been spectacular, but he's been good. He's been solid. Like whenever he's called upon, he hasn't had too much to do. I think I guess he hasn't done anything wrong. But has he made many good saves?
But we're giving Hugo Lloris an A this season, and he's also done nothing.
No, he's been exceptional.
I mean, 1 or 2 games, yeah, but apart, he's
made
hardly had stuff to deal with really in most of the games.
He's made saves that have won us points, like against West Brom and stuff, and Hugo's been absolutely fantastic. And look, Joe Hart, I'm not saying he's been bad. He just from
what he's had to do, from what he's dealt with, I think he's done it pretty well. But yeah, we'll give him a B.
Give him a B, I think.
Joe Rodon hasn't played yet.
Yeah, it's unfair to give him a grade. It's like that student who starts late.
Yeah, exactly.
In school, it's hard to give him a grade. A half-term report is harsh.
Eric Dier.
I think we'll give him an A.
An A?
Yeah.
A-.
A-? Why? So why is Toby ahead of Dier? We gave Toby an A.
Yeah, I think Toby has been better, consistent. I think Toby, let's say for the past 5 games, I would say Toby's performed better than Dier in probably 4 of them. I think Toby's been the best performing centre-back probably this season. I think Dier has been...
Well, I guess you look at if he gave away the penalty against
Man
Sanchez gave away. He gave it against Newcastle, which wasn't his fault, but he still gave it away. Everton, it was his fault for not challenging Calvert-Lewin. Southampton, that was also his fault for one of the goals as well, the first goal which we conceded. But I think pretty much since then he's been really solid and been really good. But yeah, I guess maybe but on the back of that, A- is probably fair.
I would say that Toby's been consistently better than Dier, but when Dier's better performances have been better than Toby's better performances, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think also a big part of it is Toby gets a lot more assists or a lot more creates a lot more attacking situations with his passing than Dier does. Although Dier's passing's also improved a lot better. I think Dier is a lot more physical, a lot more dominant at the back than Toby is. But Toby just positionally and on the ball is been better. But I think Dier's been pretty good since he's come in. I think him and Toby are developing a good partnership.
A-.
Yeah, I agree. A-.
Moussa Sissoko.
B+.
I was just going to give him a B.
B.
Yeah, I think a B. I mean, he's a limited player at the end of the day.
I think he's doing a good job for the team, though.
He is doing a good job for the team, but he's not doing an exceptional job for the team.
It's interesting. He came in. He starting Sissoko after the United game. From the United game onwards, he started every game, and that's seen a big improvement in our performances from all results as well.
No, he's doing
this
doing
season.
an insane job for the team.
He's played 5, won 4, drawn 1 against West Ham, which we should have won. So I think he's doing a good job for the team. But I think his one is his position in the team is definitely the one most at risk. You'd probably say at the moment in terms of starting 11.
It's because he's a limited player. That's why.
It's always one where you always just feel like he can be improved on, and for all the good work he does, he's just never going to be a player who's guaranteed to start at Tottenham because of who he is. But I think he's
a great
played well.
player to have around the squad. That's the truth of it.
Yeah, he is, and he's a good utility player. He can kind of fill in a lot of positions and always does a good job for the team. And he's reliable. He's definitely reliable. He's just limited.
I think B is fair.
Okay, B.
Giovani Lo Celso.
B, maybe B-.
I was going to say B- or C+, one of the two.
I think B-.
I mean, we're only marking him up because he's Giovani Lo Celso this season.
I think when he's played, he's had quite decent performances.
What are the games he's played in this season?
So he played against...
He scored 2 against Haifa.
Played against Haifa, didn't he? He played against... he came on against Hampton, made a good big difference there. I think he started against Newcastle and then went off, I believe, and he played fairly well. But and then he had a bit of a niggling injury. Then he came on against Burnley, Brighton, and West Brom and had good cameos. I think in each game. I think he's made a difference when he's come on and in a positive way. I want to see more from him because we all know how good he can be. It's been a bit of a stop-start season so far for Gio, but I think when he actually has had time on the pitch, he's made a positive contribution. So I think it's been by and large positive, but we want to see more from him. So
he hasn't been the Gio that we know from last season as of yet.
Exactly.
He's B. I would say a B- now, but when we do this back at the end of the season, I really want to see him surpass that A mark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, Dele Alli. I'm going F.
F. E or F. E. F. It's hard to disagree with that.
I mean, every time he's played, he's been taken off at half time, hasn't he?
Yeah. Every time he started, he's been he either got taken off after the hour, or but 2 times got taken off at half time.
Sorry, Dele, but it's got to be an F.
Yeah, it's tough. The only thing that makes me put him an E is because he came on against Haifa and won a penalty and scored, and that was it, pretty much.
Yeah, 6-2.
Did he score any other games this season? No, don't think so.
No.
Yeah, it's been a really, really bad start from Dele, and he hasn't been in the squads most of the games as well this season. He can't even he's struggling to get minutes, not only in the Premier League, Europa League as well, struggling to get minutes. When he did get a chance in the Europa League against Antwerp, hauled off at half time. I think F. I agree. It's been a shocking start from Dele, in all honesty. So he doesn't. That's it. He doesn't really deserve any better than that, to be honest.
Paulo Gazzaniga hasn't played this season, so we won't give him one. Steven Bergwijn, Mr. Mural Man. He's got a mural, but I'm giving him a D.
Yeah, D so far, because I think he hasn't stepped up as much as we would like.
I don't think he's taken any chance he's got this season, to be fair.
The only game he had played well was Haifa at home. We played quite well in that game. Apart from that, hasn't done it. Has he got a goal or an assist this season, Stevie? Again, he started against West Ham. He was okay, but got taken off. He was okay. He wasn't terrible.
The games he has played well in, he's kind of fizzled out of, and he hasn't really done it for a whole game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Bergwijn's
got to do better.
Yeah, we know he has quality. I think this is probably, he came into the team in January and started quite well, and then he got obviously when Son and Kane were injured, there was a lot of pressure on him, and he couldn't really deal with it at the time. And then at the end, when lockdown came in, he started against United, scored. He was playing quite well again, and now again he's going through quite a rough patch. So I believe he obviously has the quality to come out of it, but he's going through a tough time at the moment. I think his confidence might have taken a bit of a knock as well.
Seems that way.
He doesn't seem as confident in his.
It doesn't seem to be taking on his man, being that aggressive Bergwijn that we saw last season.
Yeah, I think maybe with Bale coming in, he's not playing as much as he was, and maybe his confidence has taken a bit of a knock. But he needs to.
He's a young player. He needs to just bide his time. You know.
Yeah, and he still hasn't been here that long. So I think he's one for the future. He's going to be at Tottenham for a while. I'm confident he's going to be at Tottenham for a while, playing a lot of games. So I'm hopeful that he gets his confidence back. But I just calling him for when he does start these Europa League games, he really has to start taking these games really seriously and taking them by the scruff of the neck. And even even if you believe they're lower quality opposition, he needs to show that he's a level above these players. You know what I mean?
100%.
So much to improve on for Bergwijn, but it's still quality.
Serge Aurier.
A.
What did we give Doherty?
C.
I would give Aurier maybe a C+ or a B.
Why?
I would say Aurier, you would say, brilliant in that Man United game, but I don't think he's hit those heights in the other games he's played.
In Europa League games, he's played really well.
League,
that's why he got his chance against United, because he played really well.
True, but if you give me the option between Aurier and Doherty, I think I'm putting Doherty at right back.
I don't know. I think Aurier's been. I think he was actually really unlucky to lose his starting spot. I don't know if it was an injury or what. It was against his last game was against West Ham.
Yeah.
He gave away that silly free kick at the last minute, which
wasn't really his fault either.
It wasn't a free kick. It wasn't a free kick. Yeah, it was silly. I think I'm giving him at least a B. For me, I was even considering an A. Because I don't think an A. I don't think he's been that good to command an A. Look at the other players we're putting on A. Okay, fine, but maybe a B. Because I think against United it was phenomenal. But for some reason, Jose has preferred Doherty for most games. I think Aurier's only played 3-4 games.
He likes the lopsided thing. He likes Doherty back, and he likes Reguilon bombing it on.
Maybe that's what it seems so. I think Aurier's been unlucky not to have lost his starting spot. I think it was working well with him and Reguilon in the team. So I think whenever he's played pretty well. So I'm going to give him a B on that. He
just hasn't played enough as well.
That's not his fault. It's a shame. Also against against Chelsea he started in the cup and he played really well in that game as well. So I think when he's
all right, we'll give him a B.
I think a B.
Japhet Tanganga, it's a bit unfair to give him one.
He played against Chelsea. He didn't play well that game. He made a few mistakes.
Yeah, I think just breeze past this one. It's a bit unfair to give him one. He's been ravaged with injuries. It's
one of those. It's like when that student who's been ill that hasn't come to school often.
Exactly. Lucas Moura.
I think B-, maybe C+. Maybe C+.
C+.
So I think in terms of output, he's actually upped his output a fair bit because he's starting to score a few more goals. But in terms of performances,
still being frustrating though, isn't he?
Yeah, in terms of performances, still a bit of way to go. I think he still needs to make more of a positive impact in the final third. But I think in terms of being part of a team, being a team player, he's always been that and he's still that. I think he's playing well, but him and Bergwijn together, I think they need to start taking more opportunities when they get them. Yeah. So I think C+, because I think he's been all right. He's not been terrible.
Tanguy.
A.
A?
A.
A-.
A-.
Because you know the qualities he has and you know there's still a few levels above that he can go. I mean, I think the last couple of performances haven't been the best from him as well.
Well, he got taken off against West Brom and against Brighton, didn't he?
Yeah.
Brighton at half time. So I think he has some improving to do. He's shown against Man United, against West Ham, Southampton. I know he got taken off at half time that game too, but he's shown in those games how, and also in the Europa League earlier in the season when we needed him to step up, he really showed his quality. He's really showing he's part of the team now. He's a vital part of our team. Yeah. Mourinho even said we missed him when he wasn't in the team. And I think he's becoming vital. Again, I guess he can improve in some aspects. But I think off the ball he's improving a lot, making a lot more tackles, interceptions, and being a lot more physical. And on the ball, his quality is all there to see. So I think he's really stepped up this season. But I think he's the good thing about it is he's showing so much quality. I think there's still we haven't even it's still the tip of the iceberg for Tanguy.
Like I said, the last two performances have been slightly disappointing. I wouldn't say he's played bad. It's just been a bit slightly disappointing.
But I think that's more of a team thing than just him, because in terms of how we're playing with the ball in the last 3 games compared to before that, we haven't been as creative, and we've conceded a lot more possession, and we've been a lot more defensively solid. But in terms of attacking wise, we haven't been as creative. And I feel like, well, actually, when he's been on the ball, he's been one of our better players. Yeah. But I just feel like as a team, it hasn't suited him because he's a lot more suited to having possession. So I don't think it's his fault as much that he hasn't been as impressive in the last few games.
All right, an A- for Tanguy Ndombele. Jedson Fernandez, we're not going to give him a rating, but it looks like the writing is on the wall for him, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's one of those students who's about to leave to transfer to another school, I think. Exactly. So he's having a bit of a tough ride, and he's been in and out of class.
He's going to join a school where his friends are at.
Exactly. Yeah, he's lost a lot of his friends, and he's going to leave school. I think he's going to transfer.
It's like when you go to sixth form and all your best friends move to a different sixth form.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's about to transfer back to his old sixth form.
Ben Davies,
C+.
Yeah, maybe a B-.
Yeah, maybe a B-. I think, because I think he came in against, obviously against Everton, he was pretty bad. Yeah. But he played fairly well against Southampton. He played quite well against Burnley away. In the who else he played?
He played Europa League left centre back. He had a great game.
Really good
but then
game.
He played left centre back the next Europa League game and had a shocking game.
That's true. He was awful that game. I think by and large, he's been fairly reliable. You know what? He's just been Ben Davies, hasn't he? Pretty much. He's been reliable, not spectacular, been caught out.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10, 6 or 7, and 7 in a good game, 6 is an average game.
Let's give him a B-, C+.
So I think, B-. We'll give him a B- for Ben Davies.
Just because his name is Ben. Let's go for Carlos Vinicius.
Carlos Vinicius, C-. C-.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think he's only played 3 games, all in Europa. 4 games actually, because 3 in Europa League and 1 against West Brom. He had played half an hour. The Europa League game, Lask played really well in his first game, 2 assists, and he looked a threat throughout the game.
To be hooked the next game.
Yeah, Antwerp, he got hooked at half time, and I thought he was unfortunate. Ludogorets, pretty shocking when he came on at half time actually, so that's one down to him. But against West Brom, I thought he made a positive impact and contributed to us getting the game. So obviously there's a lot more to come, a lot more minutes to come for Carlos, but C- for the time being, because I think he's done some good stuff but needs more time.
All right, and finally, there's the last 2 are Jack Clarke and Danny Rose.
Jack Clarke, haven't seen enough of him, and Danny Rose,
he's not even in the squad, so.
Well, all right,
there you have it.
And
Jose, I'm giving him an A. Yeah.
I'm gonna give him an A as well. I think he's reacted well to defeat against Everton. I think he's managed the squad really well at the early part of the season when we had all those games. We had 2 weeks of games where we had like 2 midweek games and then the Premier League. Yeah. I think he managed the squad really well. I think
subs are changing games.
Subs, every time he makes a sub pretty much, except for when he brought on Sissoko at half-time at Everton, which didn't work at all. Yeah. Since then, his subs have contributed really well and end up winning us games. I think he's also learned from the sloppiness that we had against West Ham and against Newcastle, where we conceded late goals, and he's turned that around and shown he's learned from that in the past 3 games. I think his tactical plan seemed to be working, and he's shown in the bigger games, against Man United and even this season, Southampton have had a very good season, and when he's played them, when they've played a high line, he's exposed them as well. So I think it's coming together really well for Jose, really promising.
And he's brought the excitement back to Tottenham as well, which is a big thing.
Feel-good factor as well, and the belief as well that we could really win something this season. So I think he gets an A so far, but there's a lot of tougher challenges to come for Jose. Of course,
I mean, the next 7 games could really shape our season. Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
He's had a few of the easy exams, and now the tougher exams come in for Jose.
Exactly.
So he's got an A so far, but let's see how he does when the tougher exams roll in.
Exactly. All right. Well, that is it. That is your half-term report. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree with our grades. If you disagree with our grades, let us know in the comment section below what grades you would give. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.